All right. Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something kind of intense.
Okay.
It's Psalm 14 from the Bible, and it's a piece of poetry.
Right.
But it really tackles some big ideas.
Yeah.
Ideas of corruption and judgment.
Okay.
But also hope for something better.
Interesting. Yeah, it's fascinating how a text from like centuries ago can still feel so relevant today.
I know, right?
It really grapples with these like fundamental questions about like our relationship with our higher power, even just like a sense of right and wrong.
Yeah, and it doesn't ease into it either.
No, it does.
It starts with this very bold statement.
Oh yeah.
Fools say to themselves, there is no God.
Right out of the gate.
Really sets the tone right.
Absolutely. But I think to like really get it, we have to kind of understand the context.
Okay.
Back then when this was written, saying that wasn't just some kind of like philosophical muse. It was like a direct challenge to the whole like
to the established
foundation of their society.
Yeah.
Like calling someone a fool in that context didn't just mean like they were dumb. It meant they were like flat out rejecting the core beliefs of their world.
So it wasn't just about denying like a deity. It was like rejecting the agreed upon truth and wisdom of the time.
Exactly. And that idea of a like higher power observing us is woven like throughout the song.
Okay.
It talks about God like looking down from heaven, almost like a king surveying his kingdom.
Okay, but isn't that a bit, I don't know, creepy?
It can be.
Like Big Brother in the sky constantly watching.
I know some people do feel that way, but I think for like the writer of the psalm, it was more about this idea of accountability.
Okay.
That even if we feel alone, our actions, maybe even our thoughts, are like seen and judged by something greater than ourselves.
So good behavior for bonus points. I can get behind that.
Right.
But then it takes kind of a dark turn.
Yeah.
It claims that everyone rejects God and is morally corrupt. Was the writer just having a bad day?
Well, or is this a common idea?
Yeah.
The language is strong, but this idea of humanity being like inherently flawed isn't unique to this text. You see it pop up across different religions and philosophies. It's like that feeling, when you should do the right thing, but you mess up anyway.
Yeah.
The psalmist saying, we all experience that.
That we're all messed up feeling. Yeah, for sure. But it gets worse.
Oh no.
The psalm uses this like super intense metaphor of the wicked devouring people. Yeah. Like bread.
Wow. That image of like being consumed is powerful.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, pretty timeless, It represents exploitation, the strong taking advantage of the weak. And it makes you think, who are the oppressed in this context? And how does this like play out in our own society? Is it economic inequality, political corruption, or any system where like some benefit at the expense of others?
Right. A lot to unpack there.
It is.
This all sounds pretty grim.
It does.
Hold on, because Psalm 14 doesn't leave us in despair.
Right.
There's this shift where it starts talking about those who trust in God, finding shelter and security.
Okay. Right. So even in the face of all this darkness, there's a glimmer of hope.
Okay.
It acknowledges the fear and terror that come with facing injustice, but also suggests that faith can be a source of strength.
Yeah.
And resilience.
It's like even when things are terrible, there's this belief that good will ultimately prevail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that leads to the longing for deliverance expressed in like the final verses. The reference to Zion, which is a symbol of God's presence, and the restoration of Israel represents a yearning for justice and a return to
a state of wholeness.
So we've got this arc. God is watching. Things are bad, but ultimately there's hope for return to righteousness. Makes you wonder if that higher power is looking at us today, what would they see?
Something to ponder.
Right.
All right, that's our deep dive into Psalm 14. Heavy stuff, but definitely worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.